I would say from an uncertainty standpoint, obviously the trade landscape, that does create a lot of uncertainty for us as an industry, and geopolitically as well. If you have trade wars and things like that, those tend to be bad for aviation, tend to be bad for passenger traffic. However, what we've seen, I mean, we've weathered a number of issues over the last number of years, including COVID, including the Russians seizing our aircraft. And so what we've found is if you're well positioned for those environments, you can actually take advantage of them.
Yeah, and I'll come back to your court settlement in a few moments' time if we can touch upon that. But in terms of what your CEO, Mr. Kelly, has been talking about regarding tariffs and regarding his hopes for what will eventually come out of these multiple tariff conversations, just lay out where you stand at the moment. And presumably, as tariff-free a landscape as possible is the optimum scenario.
Yes, that's right. So we've been advocating for a return to the zero tariff regime, which has prevailed in the aviation industry since 1979. So in 1979, there was agreement on trade in civil aircraft. And since that point, that's been very beneficial for the aviation industry. If you think about it, in 1979, there were about 750 million passengers globally. Last year, there were 5 billion. And since that time, the U.S. has run a trade surplus every year since 1979. Last year, it was about $104 billion in aerospace. So this is a great sector for the U.S. And so from that perspective, it's very positive to have that zero tariff regime. Now, maybe it's possible to augment that with some more bilateral agreements, bring more countries into that regime, like China, like India. That's a possibility. And I think that would be a win for the Trump administration, and it would be good for the industry as a whole.
Yeah, and Peter, you won't have missed the fact that in the last 24 hours, we think Trump has signed the deal with the British as well. That affects aerospace manufacturing, the likes of Rolls-Royce as well. The hope would be now that there'll be more carve-outs within tariff deals for the aerospace industry.
Yes, exactly. And that's positive news overnight, as you say, for the UK deal, because that was announced but pending. So it's good that that's finalized. And I think that can be a good model for how this should go forward, because ultimately this is a global industry and you've obviously got aircraft moving back and forth around the world. So it's very positive. I mean, when we think about what would be best for the U.S. from a trade, reducing the trade deficit, the answer is delivering more U.S. products around the world. And that's Boeing, that's GE, that's Pratt & Whitney, et cetera.